Hi everyone, I'm Brims and welcome to the top 10 worst movies of 2024. I saw around 130 movies last year, and well, most of cinema nowadays sucks ass. I am really disappointed with movies. TV shows is where it's at, like in this case, Reacher season 3, go check it out, it's great. Usually I review stuff I love, because I like to focus on lovely stuff, but tonight let's focus on the shit. Let's start with 5 dishonorable mentions. The first one is Kraven the Hunter. For some reason it shows me the Polish title of the movie, even if I have English language here, like why? It was supposed to be one of the movies of all time, right up there with Morbius and Madame Web. Well, it's better than those movies, but that does not say a lot, because Kraven the Hunter is a mess. Like, Kraven has his surname Kravenowski, and like no one can figure out that it's Kraven who's killing people. Like, I wonder, he's Kraven. Do I know anyone called Kravenowski? I don't know. Like, this movie is so silly. Russell Crowe playing the father of Kraven. He seems like he doesn't want to be there. He's like, I'm bad. Being evil is my passion. I like the fact that Kraven is supposed to be saving animals from harm, but in this movie, if you're going to pay attention, all of the animals die at the end. But at least it was entertaining in the sense that while I was watching it, I was thinking about all of the dumb things it was doing, and I was like, having almost a good time, you know? Every single movie after this one that I'm going to talk about is way worse than Kraven the Hunter. To show my respect to Kraven the Hunter, I didn't even prepare any screenplay myself for this video. Like, I am improvising, just like probably they did throughout the entire movie, because it makes no sense. Let's move on to the next thing. Yeah, Taro. This is another generic, not worth any of your time horror. It's so interesting that I rather watch paint dry. I don't want to say anything that will make YouTube block me, but I did not enjoy this movie. I actually did not enjoy any horror movie last year except Terrifier 3. Nice state of horrors in the cinema business. Did AI write this movie? Because it feels like that. Do not watch this. Like, let's move on. The Exorcism with Russell Crowe. Do not mistake this movie with Pope's Exorcist, also with Russell Crowe, because that movie actually was funny. I loved Pope's Exorcist. It's like an Avengers movie about exorcists. Russell Crowe's character is like riding on a bike to a different country, fighting demons. It's so silly, so stupid, but this one, nothing happened. Russell Crowe is like so unhappy while playing in this movie, like it has no soul. It's not scary at all. These kinds of movies is why I don't believe in possession or any religion, because if God existed, this movie would not. Latency. This movie was quite interesting at the beginning. So we have this girl and she's like in VR, like testing video games, and then she's not sure if she's still in VR or not because some monster is trying to attack her. And well, the budget of this movie I think was very, very small, because she almost never leaves her apartment. Some people come and go, some people die, and like it's all pointless because it does not amount to anything. This movie was not scary, it wasn't interesting, almost no one watched it except me. I guess I only checked out this movie because on the poster the actress looks kinda similar to Margot Robbie, so that was the main reason. I regret that. Damaged. So imagine Seven but from Wish. So this is supposed to be a thriller, you know, criminal movie. There's a serial killer, we must find him, and it has Samuel L. Jackson, a respectable actor, but since he played in those awful Marvel movies and TV shows, I feel like he lost any respect or dignity. This was a waste of time, it's not interesting enough. The killer, like, it's so predictable. Yeah, just don't waste your time on this shit. Now finally, let's talk about the top 10 worst movies of 2024. Venom 3, The Last Dance. Yeah, I did not expect anything from it, and I still was disappointed because it's kinda like disrespectful towards the character of Venom and also Eddie. It's so fucking bad. Like an 8-year-old wrote a script for a movie like, yeah, Venom and Eddie go there and then they fight bad dudes because bad dudes have caged animals and we must rescue animals, and then he goes somewhere else, but a evil alien is trying to find him So they go to an airplane, and then the evil monster finds them, and then they fall to the ground, and that's when Venom turns into a horse, and Eddie is on top of him, and they move on. That's how the entire movie sounds like a child wrote this shit, and they were like, yeah, this is great, the story will grab your heart, and you're going to cry. Tears of pain, not tears of joy. Most of this movie focuses on other characters, like some girl whose brother was hit by a lightning or some shit, or maybe she was, I don't even remember. That's how great this movie is. At the end, it was like, this movie was supposed to like promote a movie about her, because we get some like scenes after the credits with her just brainless nonsense from beginning to the end. It wasn't fun at all, like for example Deadpool and Wolverine. That was fantastic, but this one, it's sad. It did a disservice to the Venom character. I have no clue what Sony was smoking by creating 3 movies about Venom, PG-13, and also making the story like non-existent, like they're just going and bickering about. None of the jokes are funny, they're straight up insulting. Like, Venom dies in this movie, and like, it's supposed to be so sad and all. He died so pointlessly, and it makes no sense. And then Eddie is so sad, and the entire movie ends with Eddie sad, looking at the sunrise or some shit by the pier, and you're like, The Last Dance. They only called the movie The Last Dance because they had to include some fucking dance improvisation in the middle of the movie, like, yeah, we're dancing, Venom's dancing with the old lady, and because of that, the evil monster finds them. Like, Venom was so scared that he's going to die at the beginning of the movie, but in the middle of the movie, he's like, nah, fuck it, let's dance. Who wrote this? I have no clue, let's move on. This is awful. Megalopolis. This movie, I am not even sure if you can watch it right now, like you have to pirate it. Actually, you should watch this movie to see something that like has no point of or sense of direction. It just happens, and I don't even remember the ending or whatever happened. I just remember Adam Driver going so angry and like, they are not paying me enough for this shit. He looked like that in the movie. Let's move on. Code 8 Part 2. So this is going to be serious because I've enjoyed the first part of this movie. It has one of my favorite actors, Rabi Amel. You might know him from the Upload TV show, which is fantastic. Code 8 Part 2 is worse in every single aspect compared to the previous one. I don't understand why a sequel was made, and also how the story does not tie in to the previous one whatsoever. The movie just exists. The dude is supposed to save some kid. We also have the dude from Arrow, oh, I need to protect my city, as the main villain, I think. No one needed this movie. You can see that the budget is also way tinier because of the special effects, the music, just everything. It looks like someone shot this over a weekend because they were bored and released it, and they wanted to make money because of the first part, and well, they did not. I am not sure if a third part is going to be released. I hope not, because this one was awful. I don't want to see it ever again. Same with Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. They gave me a scar on my brain. Why do people even like Zack Snyder? Like, he made like one good movie or maybe 2. He did Watchmen. That's basically it. Like, everything else he does, he fucks up. He fucked up every DC movie he was a part of. Then he made that awful zombie movie. Now this shit, like, it rips off Star Wars and every other known movie that is like respectable. Rebel Moon Part 2, just as good as Part 1. Yeah, 0 out of 10. Joker 2, it like unites humanity and me because it's shit. I understand what the movie is supposed to say, you know, to convey. This dude is not the Joker, and he's like in jail, and he is like trying to find himself, and he loses his will to live when Lady Gaga is like, I'm out. You're not as cool as I thought. What makes this movie even worse to me is that they kill the main character at the end. Like, the entire movie is pointless. It feels like the director and the actor were like, yeah, we are forced to do the sequel, so let's make it the shittest movie possible. It seems like this was sabotage, like Beastie Boys sabotage MP3 in the background. You cannot make something this bad like when you've done Joker 1. Like, this is on purpose, so Joker won't get a Joker 3 part or 4. The musical segments were fucking awful, but that just because I hate musicals in general. I haven't seen any good one. I guess I will only enjoy a musical if it has a nu metal or death metal soundtrack on it. Otherwise, I am not interested. Borderlands. So gamers hated this movie. And I understand their feelings, because this movie is pure shit. I was even thinking about, is this worse than Alone in the Dark movie from 2005 or Far Cry movie? Uwe Boll, I think, that was his name? He did most of these awful video game movies like Blood Rain, Alone in the Dark. He also did one great one, Postal one, that one is fantastic. What I'm trying to say is that Doom movie from 2005 is 10 times better than Borderlands. All the way, Borderlands is so bad. It shits on the game, it shits on the entire franchise, it shits on the fan base, and it's also a bad movie. For example, I am not a Borderlands fan. Like, I did play through the first game, I didn't play the second one or the pre-sequel. I fucking hate Gearbox Software because they're one of the worst gaming companies on earth. Randy Pitchford, I hate that dude. They've made 2 video games that I had massive hopes for, and for example, Duke Nukem Forever, the 2001 version that was leaked online, is a great game. The community is finishing it. The thing that Gearbox released, it was like some new school shooter with weapon limit, health regeneration. It was awful, like it was not Duke at all. And then they've also decided to like steal the money and the funds that was given to them for Aliens Colonial Marines by Sega to finish Borderlands 2. Going back to Borderlands, maybe let's start with the cast. Cate Blanchett, a woman who is almost 60 years old, plays a teenager? Is she here because someone who was writing or maybe directed the movie has a crush on her or whatever? Like, I know that she is a famous actress, like she played in Lord of the Rings, but she doesn't need to be here. This is an awful casting decision. Let's do not forget that Cate Blanchett made fun of Margot Robbie for listening to Slipknot, so that's something that I will never forget about. Then we have Kevin Hart, one of the least funny people on the internet. My grandfather, who was laying on his deathbed and he was like and he was dying on our eyes, was still more funnier than fucking Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is so bad that seeing your beloved family member dying is more funny than fucking Kevin Hart. That's how bad of an actor and comedy person he is. Like, Kevin Hart in this movie is trying to play a dramatic, serious role, so he's like, no jokes, I am so serious. Let's make a Serious Sam movie and Kevin Hart can play Serious Sam. Like, that would be great, right? Kevin Hart, awful performance. You don't have acting chops to play a dramatic role, especially in Borderlands. Like, why are you trying to be serious in this awful movie when this movie does not even take itself that seriously? Also, the young lady here, I am so sad for her that she had to play in this movie. Maybe her acting career is now destroyed. Anyways, the worst thing about this movie is Claptrap, played by Jack Black. What the hell is going on with Jack Black? Tenacious D, great band. He played in some great movies, you know, Pick of Destiny, School of Rock. And then, what happened to him? Why did he start playing in those awful movies with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? And now it's Borderlands, and he's also playing in Minecraft. Who does Jack Black owe money? I am scared for his livelihood. Like, if Claptrap was not in this movie, it would be like 2 out of 10 movie, but Claptrap being here and saying those awful unfunny things every 2 seconds, it's like he has ADHD and he has to say those awful things and it's not funny at all. I feel like if I would play this movie in a room full of comatose people, they would just wake up and fucking kill me for this. That's how bad Borderlands is. This movie is borderline insane, it's inconsistent, it's hard to get through. They could have made something funny here, you know, make it a 18+ movie with lots of gore, some funny main character who just comes to Pandora and he meets all of the characters from the video game. They're just doing their own stuff. Something campy, something funny, but no, let's make this shit. I don't want to be here, let's just move on. The 4th worst movie is Gladiator 2. Ridley Scott should just stop. He should have stopped like 10-20 years ago, because this is embarrassing. This entire movie, it's like a remake of the first one. In every way, it's worse. It's just so bad. Like, the best things in this movie is when they show clips from the original one or the music from the original one is playing, I am not watching another Ridley Scott movie, because this is not the first time he released something terrible. Like, he did Alien Covenant, that was like the worst Alien movie. He did Prometheus, which was like average, but it also embarrassed all of the Alien fanbase with its awful ideas about from where aliens came and all that shit. So he's always doing something to destroy his beloved franchises, and he destroyed Alien. Now he's destroyed Gladiator. What's going to happen next? I have no clue and I don't want to know. So yeah, do not watch this, and I am very concerned for humanity for giving this 6.6 out of 10. Like, is everything okay? Uglies. It's like society is split into two. The beautiful people are on the top because they're beautiful, you know. How you look matters, but we also have uglies, people who are so ugly and they work in the factories. We don't want to look at them. They're awful, they're a menace. But this does not work at all, because the main character, the woman, she's an ugly, but she's not ugly at all. This is like those awful movies from 2010s, like The Hunger Games, Divergent, those kind of movies that were like, ugh. So Uglies has that vibe to it. Like, it's supposed to be a romantic tale that an ugly woman finds her prince who is so beautiful, but not just outside but also in his heart. This does not make sense when your movie has only beautiful characters. Why does this even exist? This is awful. This is straight up awful. Who's an ugly here? Like, I wonder, which character is ugly? I hope that people who worked on this movie, you know, the director, the screenwriter, they won't find any job in the movie business, like, ever, because I don't want this. Now let's talk about The Crow remake, which which shits all over the legacy of Brandon Lee. Yeah, let's make a remake that is worse in every single way. It makes fun of the original one. The characters here are just not likable. They died, but before they were killed, they were not good people. They were just a bunch of junkies. The entire thing is disgusting. The special effects are bleh. The music, what music? Like, this is awful. The fact that they even thought that a remake would sell or that people would enjoy it is downright insulting. Just go watch the original one. Do not touch this movie. It's better to even play video game The Crow than this shit. And now the worst movie of 2024. This title goes to Madame Web. Yes, I did an anti-review of this movie. Madame Web is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's even worse than Morbius. Morbius is at least memeable. It's funny, you know, $1 more billion, that shit. Madame Web is so boring, it makes no sense. The characters are devoid of emotions, devoid of brains. Sydney Sweeney could not save this movie. No one would have saved this movie. Like, everyone involved in the production of this shit should never take a camera in their hands or write anything, because the screenplay is like non-existent. Just watch my anti-review that I've posted like a couple of months ago. I don't even want to talk about this. Awful. Nothing makes sense here. The worst thing to me personally, the movie is taking place in the year 2003, yet no music from that era is playing. You're not having any Evanescence on the soundtrack, no Linkin Park, no Korn, no El Nino. This is even hard to describe for me because usually awful movies have great soundtracks, but Madame Web doesn't even have that. She has literally nothing. This movie has nothing. They should pay you for watching this movie. What does this movie have? Like Pepsi advertisement every 5 minutes. Do not drink soda ever again because of this movie. Do not do it. There are so many great artists, musicians, screenwriters, directors that should be supported and funding their projects, but instead you get Madame Web, a corpo garbage who's like here to just steal your money and waste your time and like eat your soul. That's what I think about this movie, Sony, and its creators. So that was my list of top 10 worst movies of 2024. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, links in the description. Write down in the comments your top 10 worst movies. I would love to hear from you. Shout out to all my Patreons and YouTube members who gracefully sponsor these videos. You are all truly wonderful. Without you, this video would not happen. I urge you to join my Patreon and my YouTube membership so I can make more videos like this one. See you next time. Bye!